Hello, this is Rick Doyle with That They May Be One. We're in front of the Andrews County Courthouse. This is where both my sons got their driver's license, but my oldest son, when he was about to turn 16, we were going through the parent-led driver's ed study, and it was coming on his birthday in July, and he hadn't quite finished up, and he was getting anxious about getting his license. And I said, you know, you don't have to get your license on your birthday, but you know what, when school starts, I'm not driving you to school. You can either walk or ride your bike. So he revved it up and he got his license about 4 days before school started. Well, you know, in Proverbs it says, in Proverbs 22:6, train up a child in the way they shall go. Even when they grow old, they will not depart from it. That's our duty, our job as parents, is to train our children in the way they should go. Later on in chapter 22 and verse 15 it says, foolishness is bound up in the heart of a child. The rod of discipline will remove it far from him. So we're responsible to bring the rod of discipline to help guide our children to remove that foolishness from their lives. But sometimes that's all we do, is we discipline or we get on to them, and we haven't quite done our job in training them up. I had a discussion with my youngest son about a month ago. He's 17. And he came in and said, Dad, can I go do this? I said, you know what? We need to have a talk. You don't need to ask for permission every time you do something. You're 17. In a year or so, you could go off into the military and you could fight for our country. You could die for our country. You have that greater responsibility. What I want you to do is come to me and say, Dad, I'm thinking about doing this or going to this place. And then we can have a discussion about it. It gives them the opportunity to grow up without a hammer of discipline coming down, because they're supposed to grow in maturity. We as parents should take the time to teach our kids, to help them learn. Some of my oldest son's friends didn't get their licenses until they were 18 years old. And I talked to their parents. I said, you know, it's not a privilege, it's a responsibility. They need to become active citizens, responsible in the community. Without a license, they can't go to their job. Without a license, they can't go get milk at the grocery store for mom and dad or their younger siblings. It's a responsibility. So parents, think about that. It's not a privilege or a fun thing for them. It's something they need to grow up, they need to get done, and they need to become a part of society. Paul was teaching Timothy, and he said in 1 Timothy 4, verse 12, it says, let no one look down on your youthfulness, but rather in speech, conduct, love, faith, and purity, show yourself an example of those who believe. So young people can be responsible, they can be mature, they just need to be trained up the right way. And it's our responsibility as parents, or just as adults, to help youth all over know how to live a good Christian life. You know what? We need to bring our youth into the fold and help them be beautiful, so we're all beautiful in Jesus' eyes as His precious bride. So let's be responsible in raising up the youth around us, and let us go and make the bride beautiful in Jesus' eyes.